So, Donald Trump, our Lord Emperor Donald J. Trump, said during his Tuesday conference in Mar-a-Lago, his famous conference, which brought us many beautiful revelations, many insightful revelations. You could say that we sort of got a glimpse into who I say our because he's not just the president of the US, he's the president of the world as far as I'm concerned. He got us a few insights into his own character, and we're gonna delve deep and we're gonna discuss it. So, President Donald Trump has said that he perfectly understands why Russia would be mad. He perfectly understands why Russia would invade. Why, you ask? Because it has been for the longest time ever the understanding that NATO would not be on the table for Ukraine. It has been basically set in stone. He said it. Trump said it. And now you have NATO at your doorstep. Who wouldn't be nervous? I would be if I were Russia. You wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be? In fact, apparently, there was a perfect plan. The plan was so perfect. The plan was good. The plan was good for Ukraine. The plan was good for Russia. The plan was good for everybody. Okay? It was perfect for everybody. But then comes in the devil. And the devil has a name. And that name is Joe Biden. Joe Biden stormed in. I'm not even sure if there's a year given. There's no specific date. No, there's no specific date actually given as to where it happened. Let's forget about that for now. Joe Biden stormed in like the Satan that he is and declared, no, I refuse this deal. Stop this deal immediately. Why? Ukraine simply has to be able to join NATO or no deal, okay? Even though everything was perfect, everybody was about to shake hands and the world would have been at peace, Joe Biden entered with his grubby hands, just reached in like this and declared, Ukraine has to be able to join NATO. He has decided to stir the pot. He has decided to provoke Russia into action. And who wouldn't be provoked? What was Vladimir Putin supposed to say to something like that? What was he supposed to do? He had no choice. I think we're going to find a direct quote in this. A big part of the problem is Russia. For many, many years, long before Putin said, you could never have NATO involved with Ukraine. Now they've said that. That's been like written in stone, Trump said. And somewhere along the line, Biden said, no, they should be able to join NATO. Well, then Russia has somebody right on their doorstep. And I could understand their feeling about that. There's also a direct quote about the invasion, I think. I cannot find it here. I think there was one. So it's all understandable. It's all perfectly understandable. There was almost perfectly fair and eternal peace, but Biden has decided to screw it all up with his NATO nonsense. Even though in 2014 there was no talk of NATO, NATO was not on the table. Ukraine didn't even want to join NATO all that much in 2014. It was more about the European Union, but maybe Trump is mistaken. Maybe Trump is just sort of mixing up those two things, NATO and the European Union. Maybe to Trump it's all the same. It's all the same BS to him. It's all in Europe after all. And of course, Trump has said, I, for one, think that Ukraine should never be in NATO. It should not be in NATO. In fact, I think I believe we've got a video. I think we can hear it from the horse's mouth. I wanna hear it. I wanna hear the horse. Wanna hear the horse? Let's just not ride the horse. We're gonna, oh, there you go. Oh, okay. Wow. Security guarantees to Ukraine. All right, I want to hear the horse. It's time. It's time for the horse. Okay? You ready to eat that horse? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. All right, we're gonna eat the horse. Together. Like a family, we're gonna eat the horse. Horse! All right. I'm gonna put on my headphones. We're gonna eat the horse. Cool.
So, a big part of the problem was Russia for many, many years, long before Putin said you could never have NATO involved with Ukraine. Now, they've said that. That's been like written in stone.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the line, Biden said, no, they should be able to join NATO. Well, then Russia has somebody right on their doorstep, and I could understand their feeling about that. But there were a lot of mistakes made in that negotiation. And when
I don't even know what negotiation he is referring to be quite honest. What negotiation? Which one? There's been so many negotiations. So when he just says, in that negotiation, that tells me nothing. I have no clue what he is talking about. What time frame is he talking? What year is he talking about even? Was it before the full-scale invasion? After the full-scale invasion? Before the Euromaidan? After the Euromaidan? I just have no clue, and I have no way of knowing.
heard the way that Biden was negotiating, I said, you're going to end up in a war. And it turned out.
Okay, before the full-scale invasion. When?
To be a very bad war. And it could escalate. That war could escalate to be much worse than it is right now.
They can never join NATO.
Well, my view is that it was always understood. In fact, I believe that they had a deal, and then Biden broke.
Who had a deal? Who are they? What deal? What deal did Biden break? Between who? Who are they? They had a deal.
Broke it. They had a deal which would have been a satisfactory deal to Ukraine and everybody else.
When? When was this magical satisfactory deal that was destroyed single-handedly by Biden demanding that Ukraine join NATO? Which is very comical considering that ever since the US has been one of the few loudest NATO countries that have been opposed to Ukraine joining NATO, with Germany, I believe. This is...
But that Biden said, no, you have to be able to join NATO. So
there you go. We have... Yes. So as you can see, all of this makes perfect sense. All of this is completely cogent. All of this is brilliant. This explains everything. I now know why the invasion happened. It was because before the war even began, there was some mysterious negotiation during which a deal has been created. That was a perfect deal for both sides, or maybe three sides, because the US was involved. So the US, Ukraine, as well as Russia. But then Biden decided to ruin it all, and he did, and the invasion happened. That's. But then, since it's already happened and it's horrible and it could escalate, remember, Trump has said that he would finish the war before even taking office. That's first of his promises. But what's this? He said that first he has to meet with Putin. He has to meet with Putin first before ending this country, because they have to talk. But there's a catch. He cannot meet him before his inauguration on the 20th. So he cannot meet him before taking office, because that would be inappropriate. So I guess when he said, I'm going to end this before I even take office, he was saying something inappropriate. He was saying that he would do something inappropriate. And also, he said, it's really too bad that I cannot meet with Putin, because, it's going to be sad and that so many young people will die. But it is what it is. Young people might be dying on both sides, but it's really inappropriate for me to meet Vladimir Putin before I actually take office. So, so that's one thing. But there's also another thing, that he could still meet his second promise, and that was, I'm going to end the conflict in 24 hours. He could still do it even after taking office. Maybe he couldn't do the whole before taking office thing, but hey, he could end the war in 24 hours, just like he said he would. Well, apparently not. Apparently, during that conference, he said that actually it's gonna maybe 6 months. I hope 6 months, but I hope maybe less than 6 months. But 6 months sounds like about right. 6 months? How did we go from 24 hours to 6 months? Hoping for 6 months. Is it in here? Is it in this bit? There we go. Trump said on the campaign trail before the November 5th election that he could solve the war in Ukraine before even taking office. Well, he still says he will quickly solve it. He has largely dropped that line, and he is now due to take office in less than 2 weeks. I hope to have 6 months. No, I would think I hope long before 6 months, Trump said when he asked if he could solve the war within half a year. I hope long before. So he doesn't know. He doesn't know how long it will take for him to end this war. Suddenly, not so confident anymore about finishing the conflict quickly. I'm sorry, 6 months is not that's not quick, okay? 6 months extra to all the years that we've already had. That's not a quick solution to the war. I'm just gonna say that, all right? And I'm also going to say that a president-elect that makes bold promises when it comes to international relations, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to go here, I'm going to finish this war, I'm going to conquer this land, which we're going to talk about in a moment, I'm going to annex that land, and he doesn't do it, then I think it's safe to say that it, to say the least, affects his reputation. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you say that sort of thing affects a politician's reputation if they make a lot of bold claims on the international stage? It's one thing to make promises domestically, and not fulfill them, but to make bold claims on the international stage. I'm gonna go this, that, or the other, and then simply nothing happens. And that actually affects your standing on the world stage, at least to a degree, no? Wouldn't you say? So we'll see. We'll see how many of these things he's actually gonna do. We'll actually see how much of those things he's gonna push to accomplish. Oh boy, I cannot wait. 2025. Oof, what a year. What a year this is shaping up to be. This is gonna be wonderful. My favorite year. Alarm.